And we're back. How you doing, everyone? This is your host, Jesse, a.k.a. Jeezy, a.k.a. whatever you want to call me. This is Up Next Podcast, and we have a special guest today. This is Mr. Adrian. Adrian, go ahead and say hi to the audience and introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Adrian Amrel right here with...
Amrel, yes.
With Jesse. This is a very long-awaited podcast, and today we just made it happen. It was very random, very crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't drink coffee today, so I might not be as energetic as I normally am, but I'm having a beer.
There you go.
And it's a root beer.
There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, it was good that, it just happened to show up today on a Saturday and just kind of like, hey, man, I need some shirts for the work. And I know our schedules have been kind of conflicting with you're available or I'm not available. So I'm glad, hey, you called me out. You're like... Mm-hmm. We need to do a podcast, and I'm waiting on you. Like, well, I'm waiting on you, and then today just worked out.
It's been like a, what do you call it? Like a, not cat and mouse, but kind of like we couldn't arrange a good time to do it, and I was also partly responsible for that, because I think I have a little crazier schedule than Jesse does, and every time
you do got a lot going on.
He's been asking me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And until this last week, I think I told him, bro, you know what? I owe you. Basically, I owe you. You tell me now. I'm waiting on you.
Yes.
And today I remembered. I'm like, yeah, we need. Hey, bro, I told you. I'm waiting on you. Now he's all, oh, yeah? I'm waiting on you? Let's do it right now. I'm like,
let's just do it right now.
I'm like, all right, let's go.
Let's go.
I was like, no, I can't. It's my father-in-law's birthday. My wife's like, hey, hurry up, trying to get out of work early today. Like, the day that I shouldn't be doing the podcast, I'm doing it.
Well, that's why, like, right now, I mean, we were just in Lake Hellstrom. It was like 10:30, so right now it's 11:49. So,
that time,
we cap it at an hour. So either way, we're still good.
Yeah, no,
I got a birthday party to go to later. So do you. So
yeah,
this works out perfect, man.
It was cool. I like to do things. I use this a lot. Like Nike says, just do it. I never understood what just do it meant. I don't know if that's what they mean behind it, but I'm sure it is.
Well, I think it's one of those subliminal don't overthink.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like with athletes especially, they can get very like psyched in their head about it.
Right.
About like, wait a minute, I should go left or I should go right.
True.
And then I think that's probably what it is. Just do it. Go with instinct.
I do that everywhere. Like, if I think about it, I'll get nervous, more nervous than I already am, And when I just do it, it's easy. Like, even when a customer calls me, go ahead.
No. You reminded me of kind of like one of my things is it's like I used this for work when I used to work a field technician, working 12, 13, 17-hour days. Well, my record is 30 hours straight, but that's another story.
Dang.
Where I would almost like put myself in a depressive thought mind because I overthought it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna be there for this many hours. Yeah. And then I remember somebody told me, like, don't think about it.
Right.
If you don't think about it, just do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get by faster.
And I get it. To some, it may be easier said than done.
Correct.
Until you kind of do it and just figure it out and just do it.
Yeah.
But so even when customers call me, I have a phone repair shop. When they call and I need to tell them something, or I'm calling them to tell them something's wrong with their computer or something didn't go right, my wife or my kids will be like, well, what are you going to say? Aren't you going to tell them this? I'm like, no, just wait. I got to hear their voice first, and then it comes to me.
Yes.
And it's so crazy, dude, because it just comes to me. My brain just goes, and I've always been
improvisation.
The type to work, what is it? Work on pressure? Like,
yeah, you work good under pressure.
Under pressure, yeah.
Yeah. So tell us pretty much about you. Like, what do you mean? You mentioned cell phone repair. So I mean,
yeah.
What's your background? And just kind of, I know there's your story.
Yeah.
You're kind of a little bit of everything. So
yeah.
Why don't you start wherever you want to start and just kind of tell us about you and your background and what do you do?
It's a pretty crazy background. It all started since I was a kid. I fixed my Nintendo 64 remote control. It wasn't working. I saw that the cable was torn or pinched. And, growing up, I was maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. I would go work at my grandpa's shop. He had a paint paint body shop, like auto and body.
Okay. Auto body paint.
So I got to know the razor blades, you know, because you use it to peel stuff from the windows.
Of course.
The old paint, you know, you scrape it, you know.
Yeah, remove the tint and all that.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's how I knew how to use those razor blades.
Mm.
So I got familiar with those razor blades. And so I saw my Nintendo 64 cable pinched and not working or whatever. And I said, let me get a razor blade. Let me cut around it. Let me cut it, see what's in there. I don't know. I just wanted to see what's in there. I saw the cables. There was 3 cables. Probably like, I may be making this up, guys. I don't know. I don't remember what it is.
It's been so long ago.
Yeah, it's like a red. And I haven't worked on those. So a red, a blue, and a white.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that the white was torn off. Okay. And I said, okay, I know there's wire under there. So I peeled the white. And I said, let me connect it. And I turned it on. And it's like, Mom,
Boom.
my Nintendo 64 remote works. So, oh, good job, mijo. Good job, you know?
Yeah.
So I fixed it. And then I was like, okay, I know they shouldn't be touching. So I just put
there you go. You know, that was the spark, huh?
That's it. That's when I...
That was like, okay.
You know, I could fix things. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Boom.
Jinx. So that's how it started. And it's a very long story, man. But that's how it started. My mom also said when I was a kid, I should take things apart. Yeah. So maybe it started
curiosity.
Before then. I just can't remember.
Yeah, no, it's good to having like encourage those kind of curiosities. I was kind of the same way, similar. Brother over here, he's kind of like the silent audience member.
Yeah.
You know, I have a thing with the toaster, you know, just kind of blew it up or, you know, made it pop, whatever it was.
When you were a kid?
But yeah, and also, you know, when we were kids also ourselves, we used to work on these little toy cars. And do you remember the little toy cars that could hop, you know, hydraulic stuff?
Dude, yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, I found it on a magazine how you could kind of make one out of a paper clip and those old little motors you would find.
Yeah.
And with the simple little battery, just connecting the battery and then just kind of tapping it. And so it would make it how to do the hydraulics.
Did you ever cut the axle to make it hop or do like a 3, like a...
Yeah, no, that's what it was, because you do it with a paper clip.
Okay.
And then you would tie a string from one side under the carriage to the thing. So when it yanked, it would pull it down and it would hop it. So just kind of if you timed it, you kind of just tapped it, it would hop. So
those little motors, they're like silver. They have a little white head. They spin. Zzz,
okay, yes, those ones.
Okay, it's funny. We were just talking about Barbie, right? The movie?
Yes.
Okay, so...
shout out to the movie Barbie. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah? Okay.
To my audience who's listening and watching over here.
You know, I forgot we're recording, too. Like, we're like, what's up?
Yeah,
like,
hey.
What's up, guys?
Well, actually, you know, I feel kind of silly here. I have, like, the red light special going on over here. Sorry, guys. Look at that. Whoa, a little more white, a little more bright. So, there you go.
It's all good. So Barbie, my sisters, I used to work up. I grew up with my sisters, 2 sisters and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
They had Barbies. They had little Barbie houses. So I made a little elevator out of cardboard with that little mortar you're talking about and hilo.
Yeah, the little string. Yeah, the little thread. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, bro. So that thing would come up and the negative to positive switch, it would come down, bro. It was crazy.
Dude, that's smart. Yeah, just curiosity, stuff like that, man. Just to kind of see how like the mechanics of how things work. You know, that's kids. You know, they're curious about it.
That's where it started. You know, 7th grade, started burning CDs. I tell my kids all the time, dude, I was in 7th grade selling CDs. Come on, you got to do something. You know,
awesome, dude.
Burning CDs, it was illegal, but I still did it. And then
I think we all went through the whole Napster, LimeWire, kind of, kind of just finding free music out there. But you got to be careful not to get viruses.
And that's how I kept breaking my computer. My mom bought a computer for the family, little e-machines at Walmart, probably $99.
I remember those.
Kept breaking it every time. I'd have to go, and then she'd pay to fix it. So I just figured and tinkered with it, figured it out. And that's how I learned how to burn CDs and learn about computers a little bit. I really loved it to the point where my graduation ring had a computer on my ring because I wanted to go to school to learn computer science or whatever. I didn't know what the heck that was. You don't need to go to school to do this, to do what you love, to be honest.
No, it's a passion. It's like an old quote somebody told me. It's like... when the student is ready, the teacher will present itself. And it's kind of one of those, like, if you really want to go learn something, you'll seek out the teacher. You'll seek out the knowledge, information. So it's kind of like one of those old proverbs. I don't know. I probably butchered the quote, but it's something like that.
Seek and you shall find. You can't. It's the same way you can't win if you don't play. You know, if you want to learn
Yeah.
something, you'll find the teacher. You know, you'll find how to do it.
You'll
figure
look
it out.
for it. Yeah, you'll find it. You got to take initiative.
Yeah, I had a therapy session when I was dealing with anger management. I never beat up anybody or anything, but I still kind of
Well, was it court mandated?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, just checking.
But even now, I still have little problems with outbursts, you know. But
Okay.
I asked.
Well, we're
them-
all human.
Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna
you
have
know,
that knee jerk reaction.
Some people have it worse than others, I think. But
True.
I asked the therapist, because we're talking about like how figuring things out, and if you want to, you get it, right?
Yes.
It's like, I forgot her name, but you know, why do my friends call me genius? Like, how come a lot of people tell me, Adrian, you're a genius? Oh, dude, this and that. And then she said it's called determination, and it is determination. So for all you guys out there listening, watching, it's called determination. Okay,
Yes.
if you want it, you get it. Some people are lazy, more lazy than others. So if you want to do it, just do it, man. And I feel like the title of this is gonna be called
Just do it. Do it. Or was that Shia LaBeouf meme?
Oh, I don't know about that. What was
Yeah,
that?
he's just screaming in the back of a green screen. Just do it. Yeah, I got you, man.
So, you know, I feel like I could do a lot of stuff, guys, and I told her the same thing. I'm like, look, it's because I play guitar. I can write songs. I can fix computers. I can fix phones. I can paint a car. I can do... I mean, what the heck is it, ma'am? You know? Why do I...
Well, I think you're naturally gifted, you know, because you have that in you. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that maybe just don't take that initiative, maybe because they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, I don't know, maybe it's all inside everyone. Just start. Just
Yeah.
take one step in the right direction.
Believe that, right?
Yeah. But
you're
also
right.
that little thing, that little extra that you keep going. You're
Yeah,
determined.
The drive.
Yeah, that drive.
You know, I want to do some research on that because it's very important for me to understand, like, is it truly a gift? You know, is it truly a gift? And yeah, teachers in second grade, third grade labeled me.
What do they always say? It's like nature over nurture. You know, what is it in your nature to do that, or is the nurture around you? You know, your environment, or you're a product of your environment. There's always
Yeah.
that balance,
Right.
where it's like what makes you who you are.
Yep.
I don't know.
Something to think about. I don't know.
Something to think about.
Yeah, that's something I always but see, I do think you can just do whatever you put your mind to. A lot of people say that.
Yes,
And I
it's a little, what do you call those, cliche?
Yeah.
But it's a cliche for a reason.
Right.
You know, it's like those messages that the ancient people have brought down. It's like, yeah, you know, you hear it all the time. It's a cliche, but it's true for a reason.
That's right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes down in construction that I look at like, oh, this is Chinese. Like looking at those blueprints or whatever, has all these little like,
Yeah.
you know, lines and things. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, but you know, deep down,
It's overwhelming sometimes looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, you do that stuff, don't you?
I do.
You know how to read?
Yeah, so I'm in construction management, construction industry, and just, yeah, I had to go to school to learn kind of some of the things that I learned, but a lot of it was just kind of asking questions. And I learned more just if you just ask questions, if you talk to the right person and you're like, well, what does this mean? And if you're taking that initiative to want to learn, as opposed to like, well, I don't know what that means, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, exactly. Or I don't have time for that. Or,
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with that construction stuff. Like, I do want to learn it. Wait, do I? Wait, hold on. I don't know if I want to learn it. I would like to, you know, but when I look at that, I'm like, I don't want to set the time. But in my heart, deep down, I know that if I focus and I do it, I will learn it, you know? Same with everybody, you know? You can do it, just you need to have to.
How much time you want to allocate, how much time you want to dedicate, how much time, you know, you want to go with it. Like, I always like to learn stuff that's going to make me better, you know, and use it in different ways I didn't even know I could use, you know, just simple stuff, you know, just like a simple computer programming, podcasting. I didn't know anything. I just, well, let me YouTube it.
Yeah.
And like, how do I put a podcast up on Spotify? You know, it's like I figured it out just by looking for it.
Yeah, just doing it.
Yeah, just do it.
My first computer that I tried to upgrade myself was a Dell, and then I was trying to make it's called Pro Tools. It's a software for recording audio.
Okay.
And it was laggy, and I started searching up, like, why is it laggy? Oh, check your RAM. But okay, what's RAM? Okay, RAM.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get more RAM. So I called local repair shops. I got a couple of sticks of RAM, and I freaking put it on there. And I didn't know you have to put it on a certain way.
Yes.
It has a little slot.
Yes.
And it's like, and I'm forcing it, and I just forced it in there, right? Okay. And then I turn it on, and then my computer just goes.
Oh.
So the RAM was backwards.
Oh,
and I
wow.
had to get a whole new computer.
Wow. Okay.
You know, so.
Well, you probably looked at my computer, man. Is my RAM good? Do I need to upgrade?
RAM is good, bro. It's fast. Your computer's fast. I love this computer.
Okay.
I can't deal with slow computers.
That's why I told my guy, I was like, hey, dude, just build me something that's quick and fast, and I work with big drawings, so it's like I needed to like work.
Yeah. I can't deal with the lagginess. My phone, dude, it's supposed to be super fast. Oh, we're using it to record.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll lag. I'm like, oh, my brain just a half a second is I can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with reception, you see the little reception loading. It's like, Yeah. So I totally get it, man. I'm right there. Well, I just need to connect to the Wi-Fi. I'm like, all right, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Speed, boom. Get things done. I think the world has just gotten so much faster. So,
it has.
I mean, I remember dial-up. So I was like, I'm gonna wait for net zero to dial and
the sound. You can hear the sound.
Hear the sound, dude. That's how old I am. I know I probably gave out my age right there, but
bro, I remember that too. AOL, America Online.
AOL.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't remember that company. You said, what was it?
Net Zero. They were actually the pioneers of free internet. So they had like these little McCarthy trial commercials of Senate hearings where they demanded free internet, that the internet be free.
What?
Yeah, that was their niche. Their niche was to net zero, free internet. And so, well, you know how that went. You know, now we're all paying for the internet.
Yeah.
So like they saw it like how anything was, like TV. If you recall, I mean, TV's free. It still is free. If you get a digital antenna,
yeah,
you can still get
the local
channels for free.
Whatever.
Yeah, local channels for free. So it's the same thing. And even now, like, there's still a lot of TV that's free out there on apps, and you know they just do commercials. So
yeah, there is, but you need to pay for internet, right?
That's the catch.
That's
I know.
Crazy.
And you got to pay for electricity.
Electricity.
So you still got to pay in some way or another.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised you never heard of Net Zero.
I mean, I think I have. I just don't know. I've Net Zero. Well, I'm from Texas, so growing up.
Okay. Tell us about that, man. Tell us about little you growing up. I mean, you gave us a little rundown, but, you know, tell us more about you.
So Texas. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas.
Right on.
We used to go to Juarez a lot as a kid, because that's where my dad's family's from.
Okay.
My mom too. Her family's from there.
I mean, is it as crazy and as dangerous as they say it is?
I have to say no.
I mean, I've seen Sicario, so
yeah,
you seen the movie?
No, I haven't seen that movie. Wait, Sicario? I don't think I've seen it.
It's good.
Yeah,
is it Sicario? Yeah, it is Sicario. Yeah,
I've seen a couple of Netflix shows where it shows Juarez and stuff like that. But no, dude, growing up there, I mean, the worst I ever saw, like, cause I would go like on the weekends or sometimes stay there during the week, cause we used to stay at my dad's grandma's house, and we used to go to school in El Paso and have to wake up 4 a.m. and drive through the line.
Yeah. So 4 a.m. to get to Mexico or
to
leave
Mexico? To leave Mexico.
Oh, okay.
When we would stay there during the weekdays, when my dad would be like, oh, he would just like to be there because his friends were there, his party,
of course.
Probably had
party on the weekends.
The weekdays, bro.
Oh, weekdays.
So my dad was really never there, okay? He was just more about his stuff. Okay. So we would be in my grandma's house in El Paso, but my mom and him would reconcile after fights because they would fight all the time. Reconcile, okay, mijos, let's go to Juarez. So we would go, here we go, whatever. And so I do know Juarez quite a bit, and I never saw any crazy stuff. Like the worst thing I ever saw was one of my friends got run over because he crossed the street. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and
like
that was probably more his fault than anything.
Yeah, I heard a couple of things, but
Yeah.
nothing that crazy. I mean, I used to, at 15, we used to cross to Juarez to go to the antros, they call it, the clubs.
Okay.
You pay the bouncer $20, he'll let you in because you have to be 18.
Yeah, of course.
So nothing ever happened there. I used to drink.
So you were able to like walk with no issues?
No issues, bro.
Oh,
I mean, we would drive, but
okay.
Yeah, no issues.
That's awesome.
Maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe no. I don't think I heard. I heard one of my friends' friend got killed in high school. We were in high school.
Oh wow.
His name was Richie, and he got killed because he was doing some stuff. He was selling drugs, doing that stuff. You know what I mean?
Of course. Well, you put yourself in positions that anything could happen.
That happens
stuff
here
happens.
in the USA.
It doesn't matter here or there. Hood,
yeah. You selling, you're dealing, you get killed. I mean, if you do the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
But I was raised there until I was 16 years old. I didn't. My dad and my mom separated when I was like 10 or 11, but it was always like an on and off thing. So I never really, he was. So at 16, we moved somewhere to Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah. My mom got a better job there. We were really broke in El Paso, so Phoenix gave her an opportunity for more money. Good. That's when I really expanded my brain. I saw that. Oh man,
you saw a different environment, different possibilities.
There's a lot of white people here. There's a lot of black people. There's a lot of,
more cultured.
Multicultural. Wow. And so I'm like, man, that's different. So that's where I really started expanding my brain, and that there's more to this life than just El Paso, Of
course.
And then a lot of stuff, right? But then at 21, I moved to LA, to Hawthorne. Okay. That's when I saw even more multicultural stuff.
Of course, Indian people. Out here in LA, it's a big old melting pot of everyone.
Yeah, bro. So that's it. That was me.
Well, I remember you said something about you had a musician's background.
Oh, yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, dude. So, again, I picked up the guitar in 3rd grade. And
okay. Wow, that's young.
Yeah, I mean, my dad had that.
Okay.
My dad had that whole, I'm a musician, I'm going to be famous, we're going to make it, guys, we're going to make it.
So was he in an actual band, or he just tinkered around?
He was in an actual band. He never really focused on life. He just focused on that, and he would drink and smoke and all that dumb stuff, right? Because, if you just do that and don't work and support your family, of course, that sucks, But if you're working, support your family, you're responsible, go ahead, do what you want to do. But so I saw him doing that, and of course, little me, I want to be like my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So I got the guitar and I started playing. I just picked up on one of his guitars, what he was doing. And
okay. I'm like, so just trying to mimic.
I mimicked it, bro, like this.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, hey, come here, everybody. Come here, look, he's playing it. And I'm like, 3rd grade playing La Bamba.
And then it makes you feel good because you're getting the attention, you're getting the praise. I bet. And you probably pursued it more.
I did, bro. And that's it. That's just what I did. And so I started writing songs,
Okay.
I wrote my first song like in 4th grade. I was just...
Dude, that's awesome.
I just knew something. And I didn't go to school or nothing for it. And I would listen to songs. And then, I don't know if you heard of Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm a Metallica fan.
Yeah, I would just replay it.
Dun, dun, so you would learn off just hearing it.
Just hearing it, bro. Like, I remember going...
Now that's talent, because I've heard of some people just being able to pick up on that, and that alone. I mean, also just music sheets. If you could read that, then you got a gift, because there's some big musicians I'm hearing like, we don't read music sheets. We just play by ear. So that's pretty hard.
That's another thing. It's like reading those blueprints, right? I would love to read music sheets, but I don't know if I want to put the time into it. I don't have the time right now to do that. But growing up,
well, I think that's more if like you're producing on that kind of level where you could probably maybe see. I don't know. Maybe it's like anything. Like it's how art is done. People have different art styles.
Yeah.
So like same with music. It's art. It's just what's your style.
Right.
A lot of people don't know music sheets. They just go off the ear.
Yeah.
And I think that's more valuable than anything, especially.
I think so. I mean, talent. But then again, hard work beats talent.
Yes.
When talent doesn't work hard.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's a good. Hey, put that on a t-shirt, man.
Yeah. So So then I always had that dream of being famous because I heard my dad saying the same thing, right? Being famous and this and that. And so I just, I wrote so many songs, man. I have like 50 songs, you know?
Dude, that's awesome.
I have a lot of songs. And so then I moved to LA for the music. I had dreams that I was...
What kind of genre? Is it just different genres, or do you have a specific...
It's a little bit different genres, but I always... A lot of my English songs are kind of indie pop rock, you know?
Okay. Dude, that's awesome.
So... But I can write anything, basically.
Okay.
I just wrote one for my nephew, maybe a month.
Yeah, you were telling us about that.
In Spanish, you know, it's... I wrote it. It's like what's trending right now, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so then I moved to LA pursuing the music stuff, right? Then I got, at the same time I got into business, I started fixing computers for a living.
Okay, yeah, you got to have that day job to support your passion and love. So I get you.
And I learned I can't be a bum just trying to be this, you know?
Yeah, it can't
First things first, you know? Responsibilities, and this can come.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I just realized that I got into business. I really liked business, and I figured, okay, if I become famous and if I start singing, first of all, I wanted to be famous for the wrong reasons. Let me say that.
Okay,
I wanted to have a lot of money so that I can get a lot of girls.
Hey, I mean,
You
I
know
think
what
we're
I'm
all
saying?
young.
Yeah, bro.
We're all boys, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that
And
kind
at
of
the
the glitz
time-
and the glamour.
Yeah, at the time, I didn't have I didn't have limits, you know? Like, I would have got lost in drugs.
Well, it was just
probably.
you at the time, right? So
Yeah, I was single.
You weren't a family man.
No.
Yeah, because you were how old? What, 21?
21 to 27, you know?
Yeah, man. Hey, the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
absolutely.
I'm kind of glad, bro, that nothing really happened during that time because I would have probably been dead because I didn't have a limit. Dude, I was killing myself just with alcohol. I was drinking every single day.
Okay.
And I still worked, but I had that bad addiction of getting drunk
Yeah.
and just...
Well, nightlife. I mean, you're out there,
Yeah.
you know, living the nightlife, and you're interacting with different circles.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like it's a social thing where you're
Yeah.
socially drinking and socially acceptable.
Well, that's socially, yeah, that's cool. But, dude, when
Yeah.
you don't have a limit, you know, like I can go out there and have 2-3 beers,
Yeah.
you know, and be accepted, you know. You know, if they're, I don't know, if they keep bringing out shots or anything, I can say, oh, I'm cool, and I'll just keep sipping on the beer or something like that. Before it was like, all right, let's go. No stop.
Well, it comes with wisdom and age,
Yeah.
just knowing your limits, knowing like, hey, you know, I'm going to take it easy. But when you're young, you're invincible.
And possibly if you have
You're-
a good figure to teach you stuff, maybe you can kind of learn, you know, like, okay, you know, let me just have a limit. Let me be successful. You know, don't be a bum like other, you know what I mean?
That's
I don't
true.
know. So it's a big topic, like, you know, to talk about that stuff. Like growing up, if you have somebody to teach you right from wrong or not. My mom wasn't strong enough to like say, no, don't go drinking and driving.
Yeah.
You're only 15.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they love us too much. Our moms,
Yes, of course.
they love
so.
us too much. They think, you know.
Yeah, they're going to look at you as like, oh, no, like, you know,
they don't want
whatever
us to
you
hate
want.
them.
Yeah, exactly. I think
know?
that's what it is.
That and they want us everything for us.
Yes.
So, but being a father now is crazy because I know what I missed when I was young, you know. So I'm giving that to the kids.
Of course. How many kids do you have?
We have 6.
6.
We have 6 kids, and
wow.
it's a long story, but I met my wife at 27, right?
Okay. I know we're skipping a couple chapters, but
Yeah. So we're talking about we were talking about music,
yeah,
partying from 21 to 27.
No, but elaborate with your wife. I mean, I want to know.
So so back to the whole getting into business, right?
Okay.
Got into business. I started adding a bunch of people, randoms on Facebook, Lawndale, right? Because I started fixing computers. You good?
Whoops.
How long was that all for?
I think I'm still good. Yep.
Yeah.
Still good. All right.
You know, I got into business, fixing computers for people, making more money than working at Wells Fargo. Okay. Because a guy gave me $100 to set up his printer, like something like you driver, right? Boom. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, what? 100? What? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know.
Yeah, I 100 back then. It was like a full
man.
day's work.
So I put a sticker on the back of my old Ford Explorer, like a '95, which is the one that I came to California from Arizona.
Nice.
I put a sticker that says "We fix computers," and I put my number.
It's awesome.
Call after call after call. I quit Wells Fargo, bro.
Dude, there you go.
And I realized, like, dang, I don't want to be stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Working.
Just doing this thing.
And because I've been doing music videos, I know these artists. They have to be in Chicago. They have to be in New York. They have to be here. The manager's telling them where to go.
Yes.
And I put that together to where my manager was telling me where to go at Wells Fargo, right?
I gotcha.
So I figured, okay, I blow up, I get famous. I'm not saying I would have, but, again, putting your mind to it, you can do whatever you want.
Whatever.
You make it happen.
Yep.
So I would have made it happen. I would have gotten popular enough to book shows and have money and semi-famous or probably good famous.
So then you started focusing more on the day job than the dream? Is that it?
I started focusing on business,
Yeah.
than the dream, because the dream would have had me everywhere. When I came to California, I was trying to have somebody find me. Yeah, let's help this kid. Let's sign him. Everybody wants to get signed.
Yeah, of course.
Well, when you're signing your life, basically. You're signing into a...
Well, the devils are in the details.
Yeah.
So you do always got to read that fine print. I get you. Yeah.
I didn't want them controlling me, bro. Like, even now, like, if my kid gets really famous, I told him, hey, you're not signing to anybody. It doesn't matter if they're going to put you in millions of people right away. No, let's take it easy. We pick and choose our concerts. You make 20,000 here, 20,000 there. You don't need a million right now,
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then you have to do what they say.
Yes.
You have to follow what they say. So that's one thing true. I learned. I quit. I've had like 20 different jobs. I quit a lot of them. And I'm like, why do I always quit? Well, guess what? I'm the type that I don't like being told what to do.
You didn't want to be boxed in.
Yeah.
Or obligated.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard enough for me to make it here to the podcast.
That's true, man.
I don't like setting appointments.
No, I could see that. I see that a lot of you, like, you kind of have that, what do they call it? There's a name for it, where it's just like, it reminds me of a song, it's like the System of a Down.
Yeah.
You always want to go, but you never want to stay.
Yeah.
That lyric, it just reminds me of that, because, you just feel like so, like, just like locked in, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's your little anxiety of like, okay, I'm good here. Like, I don't want to get stuck there.
Yeah, bro. I've turned down a lot of opportunities, very good money for my time,
No, your time is very valuable.
That is what it is, man. Time. And I'm looking at the time running. Time is everywhere, man.
Yeah, we're only halfway in there. Like I said, I promised you only an hour of your time, so.
I'm good, dude. Like, I like hanging with good people. I don't mind giving my time to good people, good friends, family, But, so that's the reason why I kind of held from continuing that thing. And so I started adding people on Facebook, randoms, okay? And there was this girl right there, Wendy Franco, amongst many people.
Okay.
And then I had a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
But I still added a bunch of people because it's business. I'm trying to...
Of course. You're trying to expand your network.
Yeah. So every so often, I would go live on Facebook with karaoke. A couple of my friends that sang,
Really?
And so I would see this Wendy Franco would chime in. Oh, sing this one, right? Cool. Click on it. Like, hey, bro, look. Damn, bro, look at this girl. She just liked it, Okay, cool. And that happened for about... I want to say about 6 months.
What kind of songs would she request?
We were doing Spanish, like, probably, I don't remember, Spanish songs.
Okay, so Espanol,
yeah, because we would do my friend would sing Spanish. And so
can you give me a quickly off the top of your head, maybe top 5, any random order?
Top 5 songs that we would sing on karaoke?
No, songs that you like, Espanol or English.
It's hard, bro.
Just the ones that come to you first.
Okay, it's weird, bro. This is funny.
Yeah, like I said, no order. No, funny, I'm not going to judge you on the ranking.
No, that's cool, and that's one thing. Some people worry about, that's my good side or my good side. I'm done with all that. Like,
there you go. Yeah. Don't overthink. Don't think about it. Do it.
Just do it. Who cares? Like, you're gonna take a picture. Take a picture. It is what it is. Don't worry about. Just do it. Do it. Before I used to be, this is my right side, my good side. I don't care, man. Just do it. That's what.
Well, you know what? It comes with age.
It does?
Yes, because when you're young, you're so insecure. Youth is like insecurities. That's why, like, you see all these kids with anxieties now. It's like, dude, you guys are kids. Why you have so much anxiety? It's the fear.
How do we fix that, bro?
You know what it is? I think when we're so little, like, they're kids. They start with name calling and like making fun. And as you go into your teens, you still probably have that programmed into you, making fun. Kids make fun of other kids, and that anxiety and fear kind of stays with you of being insecure.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of shake it off when you're in your 20s and 30s. You're like, I'm good. Like, I don't care. Because you realize going through life, your experience, you're more like, I could die tomorrow. Who cares? Like, let's just do it. We should think of a way to fix that in kids, bro. Because that's what holds back the kids from doing something big.
It's
I guess. We could just start to the root of the meat and potatoes. It starts at home. Mm-hmm. Starts at home. Like, parents have to talk to the kids.
Yeah.
And be a better teacher than their teachers are at school.
Yeah.
And they have to be like, look, this is what's gonna happen. Like, even sometimes the parents don't have the wisdom.
Yeah.
So the parents, they can't pass the wisdom down if they don't know it themselves. So they deal with 40-year-olds that still have anxieties, still have fears, still have, insecurities themselves.
So one of my ultimate goals is to create like an organization, like the Boys and Girls Club kind of deal.
Okay.
But to help parents and kids, Like you said, some parents don't have the wisdom. Well, what do?
Absolutely.
Go to our organization. We'll help you. We'll teach you. Yeah. And we can teach your kids if you feel like we need to teach them. So that's my main goal in life here, bro, to be honest. Like, I don't care about the Lambos
anymore. I think it really
that.
Starts there because, you know, it's kind of like that domino effect, If you got parents that are assholes, you're probably going to raise kids that are assholes.
True.
I mean, it's part of my French, disculpe, but... It just starts that way. It's one of those cycles. It just cycles through. It's like environment as far as, like nurture over nature. It's like, okay, it's like who you are as opposed to what's your surroundings. So it makes you who you are because of those things, all those combinations.
So it's a lot of stuff. And
it is.
It's a lot of stuff to learn. So that's why I want to build something that teaches all of that. The real stuff,
Good.
So, okay, 5 songs. I'll probably give you 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because Bonnie, who is it? Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Bonnie Tyler,
bro.
Dude, that's so funny. I was just hearing some Bonnie Tyler.
Right? It's weird, bro. I'm so random, dude.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I got classic, reggae, pop.
I made
anything.
I made an hour loop of that song. It has like so many views, bro. Like,
bro, there you go.
Santo and Johnny, Sleepwalk. Dude, that one's already
La Bamba.
La Bamba, yeah.
No, well, it's
in the movie.
It's in the soundtrack.
Yeah, isn't
Richie?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So I did an hour loop of that.
Okay.
Because I like to sleep. I used to like to sleep to it.
Dude, that's funny you mentioned these hour loop songs. That's all. I work with my sister, and so that's all we have as the background music. It's just songs that are looped.
Yeah.
So I go through like "Where Is My Mind," by the Pixies, but on piano version.
Where is my mind?
Yeah, but the piano version of it, and then I'll go through some other ones, just soundtracks or just anything that's looped in the background. So
it's crazy, bro.
Go on, man. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that's cool. So, what other songs do I like? Hey There, Delilah.
Playing White Tees.
Yeah.
Good. I just discovered that song again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go down the rabbit hole of music. So
I did a Spanish version of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what's funny, dude? I did a Spanish version of it. And in that same channel, which is, I think it's Amrel Music.
Okay.
Somebody hit me up and said, "Hey, I saw your video on how to write a song." Because I upload a video. Because I saw your Hey There Delilah in Spanish. Blah blah. Long story short, the guy wanted me to sing the song for him. His mom passed away.
Oh.
And
wow.
I didn't have time, bro, and I didn't have time to do it. And it was better that I didn't have time though, because I didn't have time. He reached out to one of his high school friends who happens to be DJ Kane, who was part of the Cumbia Kings and all that movement.
Yeah.
So now DJ Kane did the song for him,
Wow, that's good.
So crazy stuff, man. Yeah. I told him, hey, bro, he did a really good job. So better job than I probably would have. Who knows?
Your actions that you do, man, you just don't know where the domino effect leads.
Dude, it's crazy,
It's
bro.
like you just spark something and...
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
Okay,
sorry.
So
what is the next one?
Next song?
Yeah, next song.
Oh, man.
Give me just one that comes to mind.
That comes to mind. There's so many, dude.
I know, that's why
it just came to mind. Doesn't mean it's one of my favorite, but
it doesn't.
I
just
like it.
Any
A
order.
Través del Vaso, but Karin Leon has a version of it.
Okay.
Another song would be... I'm blanked out now. Let me see.
Like I always say, because I used to have a lightning round on the podcast.
Okay.
So it'd be like 10 fast questions.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing is to not think, just to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I told you, like, oh, if they come to you, it's usually, you know, the first ones you think of, because those are the ones that are just bubbling at the surface.
Titanic.
Yeah.
I like that song.
Okay. My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah, that one. I used to sleep to that one too. A loop.
Okay.
You know, I didn't make the loop.
Well, I like the little soundtrack one where the girl is just kind of like harmonizing.
Okay.
I think everyone likes that when the sad moments come and, you know, the music starts harmonizing in the background. Like, oh my God, the survivors. Yeah.
I'll Always Love You by I don't know who is
Whitney.
it? Whitney Houston. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll sing that in the shower a lot. There's just so many. There's Spanish
that's
ones.
cool.
Leo Dan. You know who Leo Dan is?
I don't.
Okay, it's a Spanish singer.
Okay.
There's so many things.
And you know what? I feel so like, I don't know, like maybe because I'm not so tapped into the culture as far as like just enough Spanish in my repertoire of songs I could pull out. I feel like I need to listen to them, but I feel like, I don't know, it's like I have a disconnect almost. It's like I already, because I'm the weird guy that just really struggles with lyrics and the time. Like, I've been asked to do karaoke. I am the worst I'll throw that out there. I mean, my timing and my tones are like this. Like, I'm way off. Like, I really can't sing. And I used to love it when I was a kid. I'd be like, singing. But as an adult, I don't know, maybe I got my adult voice. I can't sing and I can't timing. Like, my ear, I have a bad ear for lyrics. So I'll even butcher the song, like lyrics. So I'm just way off on all categories.
Even if you know the song, like,
even if I've heard it thousands
like
and
if you
thousands.
really love the song. What if you really love the song?
I've tried.
How about without reading?
I'll struggle. Like, no, I'll like like I'll hum along with it, or like I'll sing little snippets of it. But as far as the whole song, I'll butcher either the timing, the tone, or the lyrics. So it's like,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I'm just like the worst singer. But hey, I appreciate live music, and I appreciate people that do like cover songs on the YouTube. Like, a lot of my favorite songs are actually cover songs that people just do, tinkering around. Like, oh, I want to cover this song. Like, there was one on the Beatles, In My Life, that it was like these two guys that were just singing in the field, and I was like, oh, dude, that sounds so amazing. You know, it almost sounds better than the original, because they're singing it with passion and love just for the fun of it.
I like acoustic music, you know.
Acoustic,
you know, just, I really like acoustic stuff.
Yeah. I like it too, man. I dig it. Brother's a guitar guy himself, man. So I'm pretty. Yeah. Nice. He was my dad. He was the guitar guy. He was the musician too. My uncle, who just recently passed away, he was a musician. He was
Sorry to hear, bro.
Thank you. He actually made an album. So he was with the band and, you know, partied back in the days and was a musician. So, you know, kind of have that in our DNA, our family. Yeah. But me, no. I am not a musician, and I don't sing.
Well, you're probably the business side of it, though.
I am.
You know, that's what it is, man. I like the business side of things. You don't have to go nowhere. You're in the back.
No, but the love's still there.
Yeah,
the love's still there. Yeah.
Okay, I met Wendy.
Okay. Yeah, you met Wendy.
Because of that. So one
Facebook
day
Live.
I messaged her, hey, can I have your number? She gave me her number. Then I called her later on. I kind of forgot I had a girlfriend at the time too. I wasn't happy with her, so I said, let me look, you know. So then finally, you know, we meet about a year later, me and Wendy. After I asked her, like, let's hang out, and something happened. She got a cut in her right here. She posted, I'm like, damn, that looks bad. Are you okay? And that's what started it. So we hung out. Since the first night we hung out, inseparable. And she had 2 boys. You know, I knew this. She had 2 boys, 10 and 4. We're going back to the question of how many kids I have, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that was a lot.
I was going to ask you, but I was like, Yeah.
You know,
because if you're like a blended family is what they call it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like.
So 2 boys, 10 and 4. And I fell in love with them, her, everyone. We quit drinking because of that. Because drinking was not cool for us. We were getting too drunk. I would get mad.
So this was while you guys were in that beginning stage of dating?
Yeah, probably like 5 months in.
Okay, so you guys
4 months in.
the wisdom and the foresight to be like, maybe
Yeah,
we should
bro.
cut back on drinking.
Exactly.
Okay.
And a lot of it was God too. You know, I would see her pray before we ate, and I'm like, man, let me start praying too. Like, what, you pray? Yeah. And that's when I started getting to know that there's rules out there to follow. Just like we have rules at home. I have rules, bro. My kids don't follow the rules. I get mad and I take from them.
Yeah.
You know, but when they follow the rules, I give. I want to give. So
you want to make them happy, yeah.
It all makes sense now. You know, so God says don't get drunk, right? And so I stopped doing that, and it fixed the problem between me and Wendy, who we used to fight about different things while drunk. Okay?
Yeah. Course.
So she's like, you know, I don't want to put my kids through that. They went through that with their dad, blah. And I remembered my dad was the same. I'm like, you know what? Let me give these kids.
You don't want to follow that same cycle.
Let me give these kids what I always wanted. Yeah. I didn't care if it was a boyfriend or a stepdad. I just wanted somebody like a dad, bro.
Figure.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, we quit. And then we had Zane, our third one. So they were 10, 4, and then Zane was in the stomach. We got pregnant so fast, dude. Like,
how many months or weeks?
1 month after we met, I said, I don't care, let's do it.
You were in?
We were in, bro.
You were in for it, huh?
First time, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, like how you said, you guys were inseparable. So
yeah, dude. I was like,
that's
you know
the product of being inseparable.
Yeah, bro. Literally.
Yeah, you're like, I can't. You know.
So I said, let's do it, man. So boom, we have 3 kids now, right? 10, 4, 1, newborn, right?
Newborn, really? Congrats.
No, not right now.
Oh, okay.
That was 7 years ago.
Oh, 7 years ago. Okay, so now he's 7 years old.
Yeah, dude,
okay.
7 years ago. 6-7 years ago. Okay. So we had 3 kids, and all along her sister had like 5 kids.
Oh, wow.
And 3 of those were from one dad.
Okay.
And so they would come often. They would come often. Because their dad passed when they were like 4 or 5 from a heart attack, obviously drug-related and heart condition. So drugs and alcohol, guys, just come on. Not good.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah, man. Focus on
drugs are bad.
Stuff.
Yeah, focus on you.
Anyways, so these 3 kids used to come often, and they're like, yeah. I'm your Theo Adrian. Since they're kids, right? 7-year-olds. 2 years later, we moved to Lake Elsinore, and I tell everybody, guys, let's get out of Inglewood. From Lawndale, California.
Where's that?
Hawthorne, Torrance, Manhattan Beach.
Yes.
South
now I know
Bay.
where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manhattan Beach. I know where that's at and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So very long story, a lot of things, right? But the point is that I said, you know, guys, let's get out of here, man. We're making money, but it's going to the rent. You know, like it just sucks.
A big chunk of it. Yeah.
Your dad's over there living with your sister and her 5 kids and all this, and it's one little bedroom apartment. It's not good. Let's all move. Wait, what do you mean? Let's move. God gave us a huge house. Here.
Yeah, I've been there, man.
You've been there?
Really nice. I went to go see you.
Yeah. So, bro, we move everybody. I said, yeah.
Really?
These are rules. Yeah.
Okay,
so, come over.
So not just
the sister, come over. Yeah, everybody lived there.
That's awesome.
You know?
That's great.
Until the sister couldn't follow the rules.
Oh,
okay, we said no drinking. Don't come here drunk. Don't bring guys. We don't do that.
Yeah, of course.
Brought guys over. Came home drunk. You know, this and that. We're like, you know, then they got in a fight. Boom, she got kicked out.
Of course.
We ended up about a year later, or half a year later, maybe a year. She was in the streets drinking back in Inglewood.
Oh, wow.
CPS took all 5 of her kids.
Oh,
By the way, she got pregnant over here in Lake Elsinore.
Oh, so 6.
Yeah, so we're like, man. Okay, and then CPS took the kids. Do you guys want the kids? We're like, we'll take the 3. You know, because the other 2, they have their dad over there still.
Yeah, they're still around, still in the picture.
Yeah. And then they had a little baby, the one that was just born, 2-year-old now, 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, like, she's too little. Like, we can't, you know?
Yeah,
we got too much going on. So the other sister took the little one. Okay, anyways, we have my niece and my 2 nephews with us. The same ones that they came over. They would
call
come
you
over
Theo.
often.
Yeah,
Theo.
absolutely.
So they've been with us for 3 years now. We have 6 kids, you know?
That's awesome.
So that's the answer to your question, bro. Long.
Yeah.
But it's good, bro.
Well, hey, I mean, I don't know if I shared this news with you. I think I did.
You did, bro.
I'm going to be a dad myself.
Bro.
First-time dad. So I'm Mr. 41, first baby on the way.
40-year-old virgin?
And, yeah, 40-year-old virgin dad. So it's going to be a boy.
Let me ask you something, bro.
Go ahead.
I want to get my wife pregnant again. We try for a girl. How old is your wife?
35.
My wife's 35, so okay, we could still do it. She's pregnant. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely, dude. Like I said,
Wendy, see, we can do it.
Can do it. Absolutely. It's just we knew the risk. I've talked to other couples that have had babies later in life, and there is some risk of it, obviously, when you get older. But we know the risk, and we got good support team. So
did you weigh the risks versus the people you talked to? How many of them had problems? None, right?
None.
Okay.
But statistically, if you kind of survey everyone across the board, the numbers are higher than normal
of problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just you're more for Down syndrome is one that comes to mind. They said there may be a likelihood that it could. Just your percentages are just a little higher than normal.
Okay,
that's all.
Like a little higher, not a lot higher.
Yeah, not a lot higher. We talked about it all, and so and we got tested already for those genetic abnormalities. So we're good.
And plus, you've talked to people who've had kids and they're fine.
Yes.
At that age, yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, my sister's other sister, my wife's other sister.
Okay, the other
had
sister.
a baby too at probably 37. Yeah,
okay.
Lily. Shout out, Lily. And the kids.
Right on.
Perfect.
Yeah, so, there you go, man.
Some more support.
It's funny too. We were just watching the movie Father of the Bride 2. Steve Martin, and his daughter gets pregnant, and at the same time he knocks up his wife, which is closer to 50 and 60. I was like, damn, okay. But they never say your age. But looking at her, look pretty old. It's just funny to kind of see those old vintage movies. Now that we're having our kid, we kind of look at things differently. Those little family movies, we're like, it's first time dad, so now I'm getting excited for everything.
Yeah, bro. And there's always, not always, but chance for adoption. But not,
we've talked about that.
Like
too.
my niece and nephews, right? Mm-hmm. We have a whole family, bro, and it's cool. I don't know if you guys, our situation's
no,
different,
absolutely, no.
I feel like I have a whole
there.
6 kids. I don't care. I call them all my kids. They're all my kids. They are. Yeah.
Well, they look up to you, man.
Yeah, dude.
I know they do, and you're right there for them. That's the best thing. Is kids, they don't. I've noticed that a lot because I have, friends that we kind of talk about stuff, and I've done this podcast, so I've shared a lot, and they've shared a lot. It's like, you want that person that's going to be there. You want that parent present.
Yeah.
You don't want the present.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a present.
Right.
No, they want that parent that is present.
We just watched Liar Liar a couple of days ago with Jim Carrey. You seen that movie?
Yeah, of course. Classic.
It's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want that, the parent present, not the present. That's a good one. Make another shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to jump into some of these questions, man.
Go
so
for it.
I usually like to, not the, what do you call it? Those, what did I say earlier?
The
lightning round questions. No, but they are some questions. So I highlight them just to kind of see what's on there. So, hey, we'll start with number 1. Oh, you already told us that one.
Which one?
Number 3, I highlighted it.
You highlighted the ones you're gonna ask.
Yeah, the ones I usually ask. So I highlight those. So we already asked
that one. Nice.
And for those that are looking, you can't really see the screen, but the first question that comes to mind is where did you meet your significant other? You already told us.
Lawndale, California.
So here, we'll move down to number 9. What's a funny story your friends like to share about you?
Your friends. Oh, there's so many, dude. What is a funny story your friends talks about you that you like to share?
Yeah, what comes to mind? Like I said, it's always usually
something they share. Let me see. Okay, well, I used to get hurt a lot when I was a kid. I used to get injured a lot because I wouldn't listen to my mom. No vayas para allá, don't go. Nah, I don't care. I'm gonna go, and I would sneak out and boom. Señora, your son's injured. It's like So I've always had bad vision to see from far. Okay, it was worse before. Okay, but
you're not wearing glasses.
I'm not wearing glasses. I don't wear them during the day. I need them at night mostly. But they used to be worse. I got LASIK surgery at 18, very young. So they told me it's going to probably happen again. And it has happened, but not as bad as when I used to. So anyways, we were running down this little mountain going to the park. And it's dark. And we ran hard. And before you know it, I hit the pole or the post of a new fence they're building around the tennis courts. So, and I didn't see it. And I went boom. And I just go down. And I wake up, and my friends are like, "Oh, damn, that thing is big." I had like a big old thing, bro. Like, I want to say about an inch out, and it was like a perfect square.
Oh, man.
And that's funny because 2 days ago I saw myself in the mirror, and I think, is that still there? But
is it,
dude? It's like a little
probably like a scar or something.
No, it's like
or it still kind of sticks out, or like the scar tissue.
Yeah, the scar tissue, bro.
Okay.
So, you know, I went to school looking like an alien, bro. Because I went to a hospital, boom. I was so shy that I didn't want to tell that I ran into a pole. I told my mom, "Tell him I got hit with a baseball bat." But they said no.
Yeah, it's more of a cool story, huh?
They're gonna be like police and all that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the. Dude, I look like an alien. Like seriously, my head was like this, like deformed for like months.
Wow.
You know.
And then you had to go to school that way, like, oh.
Yeah.
Probably asked 100 questions 100 times, like, what happened? What happened?
Yeah,
what happened?
dude. So that's one thing.
Oh, that's cool. That's a funny story, dude.
There's way more, but dude, that's the one that came to mind.
Oh, here, this one, perfect for you. What was your least favorite job to date? Because you've had so many.
Dude, so many. Pizza Hut, Domino's, Foot Locker, Family Dollar. There's so many. My least favorite job was this one called. It was called data call. Data call. It was you just call.
So you were
outbound.
cold calling?
Outbound all day.
Okay.
You have to read the script.
What was the script?
Don't be calling no more. Okay. Hi, this is Adrian with Data Call. Just calling to let you know, blah, blah, blah. We're offering these things that, you know.
Oh, so like telemarketing.
Telemarketing, yeah.
So what were you selling?
I forgot. It was,
okay.
I don't know if it was insurances or if it was like some cruise packages.
I got you, man.
I was there for like probably 2 days and I left. I just left. Yeah, I do that.
All right, man. Hey, how about this one? If you could have coffee with any historical figure, who would it be?
Any historical figure. Have coffee with any historical figure.
Anyone that's long gone.
Or
probably, even now, even living. There's a lot of historical figures, I guess, now.
Albert Einstein.
Ooh,
probably.
Okay.
And I don't know history much to either guys. Like, I don't know much about that stuff.
No, but that's a good one.
Yeah, I think him. I like to pick his brain and see what the heck. Because people thought he was crazy until he wasn't crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of.
So he was so ahead of his time that he saw the world and ways that people couldn't understand.
Man, I should have said Jesus too, bro. You know, dang.
Well, that'd be a hard one to have a conversation with, right? Like, where do you start? Where do you? It's like, yeah, God.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
And then what was the other thing?
No, just the historical.
Oh, you said somebody. From the
just
present too?
Yeah, who would you want to have? It was one person, but you could go with the third one.
No, we'll stick with those two.
Those two. Okay, I like that, man. No, those are good. Hey, how about this one? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
If I could live anywhere in the world, I would want to live wherever the weather is nice, not too hot, but a lot of trees, a lot of like trees and foresty, like kind of country living, you know.
I think Seattle right away, like.
But it has to be cool, like good,
or northwest
not too
area.
Rainy all the time, like nice weather. You know, it could be anywhere as long as there's internet.
Big Bear's nice. Yeah, when it's not like drowning in snow.
Is it country style though? Country like
you've never been to
fields, Big Bear? Like acreages and stuff.
It's just mountain with trees. So I don't know. I mean, you probably want something with more landscape.
Yeah, we can have chickens and have birds and not birds, but animals and stuff like that.
There you go.
Ride the quads if you want to go up the mountains. You can.
Do you like animals? I mean, like, have you ever like been on a farm and farmed or have any?
I haven't farmed or anything, but I do love animals. I rode a horse for the first time this year, was it?
Nice.
Yeah, and it was cool, you know.
Yeah, you got to watch for that little bounce. You know, just you got to be careful.
You got to wear a cup.
Yeah, you just got to mind, how you stand or sit. Okay, I like that, man. How about this one? If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would you say?
Don't drink, don't smoke weed. Keep a sober mind, and I'll teach them. I'll tell them everything about business, like how to make money, like
how to make money. Here's $1,000. Let's flip it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't know that they have the ambition to make money, but a lot of times they don't know where to start.
That's true.
And then there's so many of those kind of get rich quick schemes, Andrew Tate type seminar shit that like people go out there and spend money on, and then they end up like right back where they started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. No, that's cool, man. I like that. All right, let's do a couple more. What's your biggest pet peeve? How about that?
My biggest pet peeve?
Yeah.
People who don't like, and this could be my kids too, you know, when you say you're gonna do something, or when you know you're supposed to follow a rule and you don't do it, you break it, you forget, you know, like when things don't get done and the way they should be, that's like.
So integrity is like really big for you, right?
Integrity.
That just kind of like keeping your word.
Keeping your word.
And just be a man of your word.
Yeah, and following those little rules. Like, okay, you know you're supposed to wash your dish. Wash it. Don't just leave it there. You know, like, it gets me. Oh, we said no more eating in the rooms. And you're eating... Dude, we just talked about that. No, like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is just me. Kids will be kids. You know, they'll take that little extra step, you know, and it's brand new to them. The world is brand new, so it takes time for them to kind of really learn those things.
That is
true.
So,
and this is me currently as a non-parent, but wait, talk to me next year. I'm like, oh, God. Or, you know, I don't know.
True.
I don't know. My view will probably change when the kid gets older and all that. So I don't know. So people's views change. So
yeah, it really does.
I like that, man. Okay. I think I already said this one. Ooh, how about this one? Tell me about 3 most influential people in your life and how they impacted you. 3
most influential people in my life. Influential people, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it could probably be my grandpa, you know, because that's the person that I went to go work.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And now I thank him because he used to tell me things, you know. So, and I used to cry, but now I'm like, dang, he was right, you know, certain things. Who else is influential to me? Has to be like, let me see. Probably Hey There Delilah artist playing White Tees. His name's Tom. I met him once.
Really?
Yeah, I asked him like, dude, how'd you do it? How'd you make it? He's like, just keep going, man. It took us. I wrote that song 10 years ago. He told me.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, that's true.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it took so long just for people to catch on. And
yeah, there's a picture of me and him on my Amrel music channel. If you look at Playing White Tees, Hey There Delilah in Espanol, I have a picture of me and him. I was probably 19 years old, 20.
Dude, that's awesome.
I won a show on the radio. I won tickets to see him backstage. I missed it. I was late.
Damn.
And I was like, no, they left already. And then I see him, like, Tom. Hey, man. And he came, and we sang a couple of his songs. I was playing the guitar, and we were singing together.
That's
and he
awesome.
signed it, you know. And that's when I asked him, how did you make it? And he told me, man, it took 10 years.
Wow.
So I guess that's another
person.
person.
I heard something about that his song, he wrote it for a girl, and I guess, you know, he never got the girl.
Yeah, no, he never got her, supposedly.
Yeah.
She was in the Olympics or something like that. Yeah.
I didn't hear about that one, but yeah, I heard just that was the kind of the little story behind that. Like, he wrote it for a girl and didn't get the girl.
Yeah, it's funny, dude. Writing songs is crazy. Like, I've written songs for girls that I also didn't get with, you know. It was just like a thing where, like, I moved and it's like, you know, this could be, you know, but it never was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also can write a song about, let's say, if you're going through something, you can tell me what you're going through, and I'll put myself in your position.
Yeah. Empathize. You know how to put yourself in people's shoes. And yeah, that's kind of like where artists, I could see, like, you know, that's why it takes an artistic eye to kind of really not just see your point of view, but other people's point of view, and how to, like, maybe kind of put that in your art, you know, whether it's music, whether it's painting or anything. It's like, how can you do that?
That's true.
Talent.
Bro. Talent, bro. And yeah, again, that guy, influential, dude, 10 years is like, man, I could do something now. It doesn't mean it's going to hit tomorrow.
It doesn't mean, exactly. Just take your time. I mean, like, even actors, you see, like, a lot of actors that have grinded through their young years, and it isn't until, like, later in life they get that opportunity, and the next thing you know, they win an Oscar.
Right, bro.
You know, like look at Brendan Fraser. You know, he grinded away all those years when his young youth, and then he just got an Oscar.
I've done the research too. Like, okay, what is the oldest actor what finally made it? What's the latest age an actor finally made it, or a singer? And there's people out there that made it at 60 years old. So I'm like, I'm 34. Okay, I'm good. You know?
You got time, man. It's not a race. It's just like, you know, sometimes it's just a preparation and opportunity. They just meet, and so that's kind of what luck is.
Right.
So you got to be there at the right time. You got to be prepared.
Yeah. Yep. And then Tupac, probably. You know,
influential, huh? Like, what made him so influential for you?
He was very smart. You know,
he was very smart,
and he did a bunch of things. He was doing movies, this, that. He saw the big picture. I didn't like that he was doing the bad stuff, you know, but
yeah,
he was good. Like, you know, he just needed to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah,
not push that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if he really wanted to, he could have been a political activist. He could have been so much more of an artist. I mean, he could have done more movies. He could have maybe even directed his own movies, or he could have, like, you know, the potential was all there.
Yeah, and he should have respected too, though, that the government and, you know, if you're preaching something, if you're stepping on somebody's toes who has a lot of power, you got to be smart enough to know, hey, they're gonna do something. You know, they might do something to you. You gotta just chill.
Yeah, it doesn't even take a whole lot of anything for someone not to like you.
Yeah.
You know, just people could just, like, look at you and be like, well, I don't like you. You know, you're giving me this bad vibe, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I always say, like, you know, it's, I always tell this, and just my corny little everyday things. It's like, you could be the most beautiful, delicious tasting peach. And at the end of the day, someone's not going to like peaches.
True. That's true. It's a good one, bro.
That's it. Just to oversimplify something, just to put it into perspective.
Yeah.
You know, people try so hard to please everyone or be this, you know, person that, you know, everyone's going to like.
Yeah.
But not everyone's going to like you.
That's right.
And I think it goes back to what we were talking about, just not care about other people, what you think, what they do, what you do yourself. It just matters what you do, what you care about.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, we hit this hour mark.
Yep.
So we're going to wrap this up, and I always give the platform, you know, for my guests to kind of give us last words of wisdom, last anecdote or story, anything you want to share before we wrap this up.
So my last name, we're talking about that, Amrel.
Yes, right? You were.
It's Lerma. I did it backwards. A few reasons. I don't want my dad to feel like, so, oh, that's my son, oh, that's Lerma, you know. That was back in the day, before I understood why I was mad at him, but now I'm not. I understand he was a kid once, you know, this and that.
Young dads, I guess.
Yeah,
young
you know,
everything. Well,
probably didn't have the right teaching from the top either.
That's true. Yeah.
So, you know, whatever. But that was the main reason, right? I turned it backwards, also because I don't want to be like all the Lermas that in my family, drunks, left their kids, died from drunk, you know, whatever, alcoholism, blah blah. So I'm like, I'm reversing the cycle. Crazy
Flipping
thing is,
the script. I like that.
Yeah, bro.
I like that.
I searched up Amrel.com, see if I could register that name, and there was already an Amrel.com.
Really?
And it stands for American Reliance. Okay, I did research on it, and it's like, guess what they do?
What do they do?
Computers and cell phones. I'm like, God, you're giving me a sign. That's right. Let me flip it.
That's right there. That's the
sign. And they do phones and computers, ruggedized phone and computers for the army and stuff like that. Dude, and they're here in California.
Nice.
And then the craziest thing too, bro, is one of my first businesses, shops that I opened, my friend loaned me $16,000. He's from India. Wow. Okay. He loaned me the 16 G's. We opened the shop. Boom. I paid him back. I might still owe him a little bit because he's done so much for me. But the second person who I sold my first shop to, I sold it for $20,000, and that's when I moved to Lake Elsinore, right?
Okay.
He's from India.
Okay.
So the Indians have always been, and I look Indian a little bit, dude, like, or a lot of it. Who knows?
Well, I can see a little bit,
right?
You have that little bit of indigenous, maybe Indian, maybe
you're Hindi,
you know, yeah, maybe Hindi, maybe
these Hindi people from India, right?
Okay, maybe, yeah.
So then I start searching up Amrel, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a city in India called Amreli. It just has an I.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, it's weird, bro. Everything's just talking to me, you know?
The universe, man. It just points you in the... It like nudges you.
Yeah.
and then it's up to you to kind of walk through that.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, what
That's
are the odds
crazy.
of having a city in India? Why couldn't that city be somewhere else? It's Amreli, India. I just have to put an I. And I told my wife,
Have you thought about it?
I did, but I asked a couple of people, like, oh no, I don't like Amreli. It's probably easier to spell if I told you, hey, my name's Adrian Amreli. Can you spell it better than Adrian Amrel?
Probably. I would have better of a chance.
Amreli, right?
Yeah. Amarelli.
Oh, Amarelli.
Amrelli?
Amrelli. Yeah.
Amrelli. Yeah.
So then one of my friends said, no, it sounds Italian, bro. It sounds Italian, blah, blah. So I stayed with Amrel, so we just signed this stuff. So anyways, a story about my last name.
That's cool, man.
And that's about it. Words of wisdom, just, I think, follow the rules that God has. And don't get, like, drunk. I mean, you can drink a couple of beers, 2, 3, 4. Have a
know
limit.
your limit.
Yeah, have a limit. Exactly.
Know
Jinx
your
again,
limit.
dude.
Yes, know your limit.
Know your limit, man. You know?
Yeah.
You're more powerful, you know?
Well, I think when you're young, you just feel so invincible.
Yeah.
And you can just keep going. Like I said, that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
A lot of times people do it because they don't have the confidence, or they're too shy, or they feel like they need to be buzzed to be able to talk.
Just to have that conversation.
But really, if you've mastered, or if you finally realize that you can be yourself without being drunk, you're ahead of the game.
And this is why I wanted to do the show. Just give this platform for people to be more comfortable talking.
Yeah.
Talking about themselves and talking about just mental health. I think it all started with that. Just people just don't share or talk. They bottle up.
Yeah.
And you bottle up, it sinks and stays in there and festers.
Yeah.
And it can be very toxic.
True.
So, on that note, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for doing the show. You know, I really appreciate you. This ain't going to be the last and only time. So we'll have some more conversations, and maybe we'll do a podcast like on Zoom.
Yeah, we'll do it. Thanks for having me here. Long-awaited podcast. We're here.
We're here, man. Thank you,
bro. Thanks.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Catch me on the next one.